Hey everyone, welcome back. I promised you last week that I would share about a cool opportunity that came across my path where I was the recipient of outrageous generosity. So I'm going to tell you about that today. And I want to get you excited about being on both ends of it because last week I talked about the radical money method, and the last step was all about outrageous generosity. When you get to be generous, it changes your life and it changes other people's lives. So cool thing happened. I'm not going to give all the exact details, but basically there's a conference that I was invited to and it requires travel. And because of the distance, the short distance of time between now and when the conference is taking place, travel expenses are higher. And unfortunately, it was just outside of the budget that my husband and I could justify because of all the residuals. You're talking about airfare, transportation, hotel, food, all these things, it adds up. And so we just kind of assessed it. And because of other goals we have, we said it'd be great to take advantage of this offer, but it's unfortunately not in our outlook to do that. And very generously, somebody else who's going to that conference offered to cover most of my airfare, putting me up in a hotel, picking me up from the airport, dropping me off at the airport on my way home, and just basically covered almost all of the expenses. I have a small piece of it that I'm more than happy to contribute, but the generosity that I am receiving is just, I don't have words to say thank you. Thank you is not enough. When you get that, that moment where somebody's just outrageously generous, is like, you are kind of speechless in a way. And so just thinking about that concept of outrageous generosity, I'm so grateful that this person just valued me enough to make that happen. And I'm going to get to now attend this conference, learn some amazing things that I'm so hungry to learn over a few days, and just be in the room with people that are going to stretch me and grow me. And it might change my life. I might learn things that are going to impact the trajectory of how we make some decisions financially. It's a financial focused conference, and that's the ripple effect. So generosity has a ripple effect, whether you're the pebble that's starting the ripple effect and you're creating waves that are going to hit other people, or sometimes like this example, I'm hit by one of the ripples. I got hit by one of the ripples. So I want to continue to encourage you to think about those things that you can do to change somebody's life for the better. Even if it's being generous with your time, somebody who might really need your help or your expertise, and you're able to carve out time for them. Somebody who maybe can't afford to pay you for your time, but because you have your finances in order and you're able to say yes to that. It's not that you're saying yes to everything that comes your way without pay. If you're an entrepreneur or business owner, of course you need to get paid for your time, but there's also just the intrinsic value of being an honorable person and just doing good for the sake of the other person. It's not always about what's in it for me. Sometimes God puts you in somebody's life because he needs you to be there for them. So I've seen that play out a lot, where sometimes you're in a situation and it doesn't make sense. You're like, why, God? Like, why am I in this? I don't understand it. And then it plays out and you look back and you're like, oh, that had nothing to do with me. God just put me there because it was for them. And it's a real blessing when you get to see that play out. And it's really humbling too, because it makes you realize when you're thinking about it that way, how selfish we can default to be like, God, what are you doing? I don't understand this. Why me? Why here? Why is this so frustrating? What's the point of this? And then you realize that he's moving some chess pieces around, and you're one of the pieces that he's asking you to trust him to move. And he's saying, just like in chess, I need you to hang out right here and trust that I have a plan. I have a strategy. I have a long-term plan, but where I need you to move and how I need you to move you can't see it from on the ground, but from where I am, he is our, I don't know what you call that in chess, the person, chess player. We're not just his pawns in a manipulative way, but we're submitting to our authority. We're submitting to our creator and saying, I don't understand it, but I trust you. And then when we get to be on this ride and get to deliver outrageous generosity, when we get to be a conduit of God's generosity, he pours blessings into our lives and we get to pour it back out. more of that's just going to keep flowing. Just like when a gutter gets unclogged, like the stuff just keeps flowing. So my husband and I always talk about this. We want to be a conduit. We don't want to be a bucket where the blessing pours into us and it stops. We want to let it keep on flowing like a river and get to just enjoy watching lives, get changed with generosity, with just being a good person. I guess that's all it comes down to, right? So anyway, I wanted to share that cool story. I'm so grateful to be a recipient of generosity, which fires me up even more because I know how cool it is when I get to do it on the other end and pay it forward or pay it back, whatever that looks like. So I hope you're thinking about that. Have fun. Think about it with your family. Think about it with your spouse. Think about it with whoever you're doing life with. How can you find ways to be generous? And here's another cool way you can do it in small ways. If you're at the gas station, there's dollar coffee and you see somebody buying the coffee, go up, and you're at the register early, go up to the cashier when you're paying and just say, hey, that person's coffee over there, I want to take care of it. Even if they get other stuff, you can at least pay for their coffee and put that on the tab, if you will. I've done that. And then you're gone before they even know who it is. So you get to just kind of do a drive-by blessing or a drive-through blessing. You can do that at the drive-throughs too. If you say, hey, I want to take care of the person behind me, you have to commit to take care of their bill. Sometimes you listen, you say, are they getting a full meal or maybe just a coffee? But no, I'm just kidding. It's fun when you get to do that because also the person who's taking the order and watching that happen gets blessed too because they just see a random act of kindness, which is fun. And then you're gone before they know who you are. They just get blessed and you got to do it anonymously, essentially, other than the person at the register. But have fun with it. Think about creative ways that you can be a blessing. When you're out to eat, intend on being generous with the tip. Like my son and I have had the opportunity to go to Pancake House, and we intentionally left a crazy big tip in proportion to the bill. The bill wasn't even that much, but we intended on giving a certain amount of cash in the tip because we're just like, you know what? We want to bless somebody. If somebody's working hourly and is trying to make ends meet, let's make their day a little bit better. If we can and when we can. So it's just fun to do things like that and just share in the joy. So those are just little ideas that we like to do every now and then. Put it in the comments. I'd love to hear ways that you've been outrageously generous. I am probably going to drop in the comments, in the description, a cool video link. It's called The Generosity. It's either The Generosity or The Kindness Boomerang. You'll see it in the description. It's a super inspiring video. It kind of is a really cool visual of the ripple effect that one act of kindness can have. So check that out. That always gives me goosebumps. And please share in the comments how you've been creative being generous. Love to hear from you. Check me out, Leah at moneywisemom. That's my email, Leah at moneywisemom.com. I should do these earlier in the day. Leah is how you spell my name. My website is moneywisemom.com. You can jump on there, see what I'm about. You can reach out to me there too. I have a contact me button. You can click that button. You can subscribe to this if it adds value to your life. If not, you can just watch and move along. No harm, no foul. Not offended, but I'd love to have you join my community and we can inspire each other. So that's all I've got for today. Can't wait to hear about what you guys are doing. And until next time. Bye for now. It is not always easy, but it's always worth it. Bye.